If you do not have a standards list, then I need you to grab a pen and paper, and I don't care if you get high, I don't care if you meditate, I don't care if you do breath work, I don't give a shit what you do. What I care is that you make this list. Okay, and the reason why you're gonna make this list is because this list is gonna come in handy later. And why it's gonna come in handy later is because I made my list back in May. For context, I was literally at Kilby Walk Party, and I was standing on the top of like bleachers watching a skate competition, listening to Suki Waterhouse perform live, and I just smoked a little J to myself, and all of a sudden I was like, what do I want? If I can have anything I want, if the universe is me and I am the universe, if the universe never says no, the universe only says yes, not now, or here's better, then I can have anything I want. And my standards list that I'm going to talk about today, this standards list is for a future partner. At the time, I was just splitting from a long-term partner, and I felt like fucking garbage. And I couldn't figure out why I felt like fucking garbage. And that was the most conflicting part, is I genuinely did not know what truth was coming out of that relationship. I did not know what my reality was. And that really fucked me up. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh, I just wish he would text me. I just wish we were still talking. Like, you know. Maybe you don't know. I have recently come to the conclusion that I'm a little bit toxic. So maybe you don't know. But for those of you that know, you know. You know? Anywho, I am standing on these bleachers, and all of a sudden I feel inspired to write this list. And it's literally called Standards, and it's in my notes app. And I will share with you a couple of things that I have on it. I have Loudly Loving. Because all I've ever asked for from anybody in my fucking life is to be loved so fucking loudly that I have no doubt that you fucking love me. I love people so fucking loudly. I am a huge cheerleader, and as I've gotten older, I have become even more so. You're a fucking stranger, and for example, I worked this festival, and I saw this beautiful fucking man. And he is dressed to the nines, okay? He is looking fucking immaculate. His nails are done. His makeup's on point. He's probably 1,000 feet away from me. I see him. I stand up. I stand in the middle of my lane, and I start clapping. And I'm just like, baby, you look stunning. I love you so much. And he was like, do you do this for everybody? And I was like, I do it for anybody that, like, yeah, anybody that I feel like I want to do it for. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. At one point in my line, I literally complimented like 20 people in a row. And I did not do this because I was trying to compliment everybody. I just did this because this is who I am. I am a cheerleader. I love supporting people, and I love being supported by people. So Loudly Loving is on my list. Loudly Supportive on my list. I had Kind, because one of my ethics is that I'm a kind person and I move in kindness, and I genuinely try to embody this. And what's important about this list is it's not only for my future partner that I was asking the universe to manifest and bring into my existence. What's important is I was suddenly listing all of the qualities that I want to have in order to have the relationship that I'm asking for. This is not what they need to have. This is, I want this kind of person. Do I embody these traits? I want someone kind. Am I kind? I want someone loyal. Am I loyal? I want someone loudly loving. Am I loudly loving? I want someone that's loudly supportive. Am I supportive? Do I amplify positive energy when I show up in environments? That's what this list was for me. And it's not physical traits. Don't get stuck on that shit. I mean, you can like add that shit later if you want. I've thought about adding to my list to be like, okay, wait, let me get a little more specific, universe, because like it's not just anybody. But also, I haven't yet. And that's okay. So, I have this standards list. And why this is important is because I have somebody that was in my life for a really long time. And as I just shared, I recently have discovered that I'm a little toxic, because I will love somebody so much that I will let them show me who they are over and over and over and over again, and then I will still allow them access. That's not healthy. And upon coming to this realization, shit is very rapidly changing for me, and I'm very excited about it. 444 as I say that. However, this is me being honest with you, because it's easy to be like, this person doesn't know. Like, I think that's something we all kind of get so trapped in, is like, we're like, nobody understands what it's like to live my experience. And like, nobody ever really fucking shares their experience. So you don't trust them that they know what they're talking about. One of my core ethics is that I'm transparent and I'm vulnerable. So I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I am who I am. I was who I was. I do feel some shame and guilt about it sometimes, but at the end of the day, other people's perception of me doesn't really matter. I know who I am. I did forget who I was for like 48 hours when I spent time with this person, and I forgot who I was so fucking fast, and that's why I know that I'm toxic. Like, I'm suddenly in their presence and I'm like, everything's fine. I don't need to say anything. I don't need to have any feelings about anything. Like, I just love you. Like, that's not healthy. If you do that, you are also toxic. And I say that with love, not judgment. It's okay. The only thing that matters is that you become aware of it and that you're willing to change that pattern. Just don't keep doing that pattern. Be stronger than the pattern. Anywho, I'm writing about this in my journal. And I'm like, I'm sad. I'm sad. Something that I've recently been trying to do is sit with separate the narrative and the story from the emotion. Like, so that I'm not processing the story and the emotion over and over and over again. The story and the narrative over and over and over again, but I'm sitting with the emotion part of it. And I'm like feeling it in my body and I'm letting that process out. Because these wounds were here long before this person was here. These wounds are things that I have carried since I was a child. And while they might have amplified them, while they might have added to them, while I definitely added to their wounds as well, like, at the end of the day, it is only our responsibility to handle where those wounds come from. And so in this case, obviously, I have to handle my own shit. So I'm journaling. And something that I like to do when I'm journaling is I like to dialogue. So I will either ask a question and wait to hear the answer in my head, or I will be writing, I will hear a question in my head, I will write it down, and then I will answer it. Now, what I believe that this is doing is it's allowing me to engage with multiple levels of consciousness, whether it's my lower self and my higher self, my shadow self and my light self, whatever you want to call it. It's multiple levels of consciousness, and that's what I'm engaging in, okay? So I'm in the middle of journaling. I'm writing I'm sad. I'm trying to separate the narrative from the story, and I'm like, well, I feel rejection, and I don't want to feel rejected. And all of a sudden, my higher self is like, why do you feel rejected? Why does that matter? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Why does it matter? Because it matters. Well, why? Because it does. Okay, well, if this was true, what would you do? Well, I would do this. Okay, if the opposite was true, what would you do? Well, I would do this. Well, your answer is the same for both things. So you're not actually perturbed at all by the scenario. You're perturbed by your lack of control of the scenario. Okay. I love my higher self. She's a sassy bitch. She's the best. I literally love how fucking real she is, and I'm grateful for her always, because I do not hesitate to put myself in my own fucking place. As a matter of fact, I literally have in my journal entry, I was like, no, I'm lying to myself. And then I dialogue back, okay, so be real. And I was like, oh, but I wish I could. And then my higher self said, were you happy? And I said, no, but I could be. And then she responded, bitch, be for fucking real. And then she said, the whole time that you were spending time with this person, you actively were having the thought. I'm obviously talking to myself, but this is my higher self, right? So it's she and I, we, you. This is how we write, okay? And so she says, I say, we say, the whole time that you were spending time with this person, you were actively having the thought, it's this or better. And I was. Because it was the love that I had been asking this person for years. Okay, I literally was on top of the fucking world. Like, I was like, how am I finally getting this, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna fucking last? Like, what do you mean? So I'm like, it's this or better. Like, I either get this or I get to have better. And I actively was like telling myself this anytime that I wanted to swoon for this person. And And she had me pull out the checklist. And he doesn't match the qualities on the checklist. I mean, matches some of them, for sure. And if my list was more expansive, I'm sure he would match more, but doesn't match all of them. And this made me realize that this is a battle between my 3D self and my 5D self, because my 5D self was so specific about what I want. I was so specific about what I want. But my old patterns, my old belief systems, my old loops would be willing to settle. And seeing this standards list, like, looking at it, realizing that this person doesn't match this list, I just called myself out in the harshest way fucking possible, I feel. And this has inspired me to write, like, a secondary list. And maybe even a couple different standards lists. And not just about my, like, dream partner, but, like, what does my dream life feel like? What is that experience like? And then when I'm having these self-doubts and I'm getting stuck in these loops, I can literally pull them up. And I can be like, is the life I'm living matching my standards? And if it's not, what do I need to do to change it? And this is not like make $100,000 a year, $1,000 a year, bitch, please. No one can survive off of that. $100,000 a year. No one can survive off of that either. But this is things like, what does expansiveness feel like? When I'm building my business and I'm concerned that I don't know if I'm making the right decision or not, can I look at this list and can I be like, what does expansiveness feel like? Am I moving in the way that I say that I want my life to feel? Am I moving in joy? Does this feel inspired? Do I feel creative? Does this light me up? Do I feel passionate? Am I doing good for my community? That's one of my core purposes. That's one of my core values, is to participate and give back to my community. Does this opportunity allow me to do that? And this is about to change my whole life. And I wanted to make a video because I'm certain that the people that this video is going to find, it could change your whole fucking life too. Make a standards list. Dream partner, dream life. Who do you want to be? Make a standards list. And then anytime that self-doubt comes in, fucking look at that list and be like, I know who the fuck I am. And I know what the fuck I want. And I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to align myself in these traits and in these qualities. And if I am not, then I am going to change it up. That's what this taught me. I miss this person, but he doesn't meet my standards list. He doesn't get to stay. I'm not willing to settle. Maybe an old version of me would have, but the new version of me won't. So I think, like, having this list really made me feel empowered, and I invite you to also have this list. And if you don't know where to start journaling, start dialoguing. If you don't dialogue when you journal, if you don't journal, start somewhere. I tell people this all the time. If you do not like journaling, record yourself. And they're like, well, I don't like my voice. Who gives a shit? That's unfair, though, because I love the sound of my own voice. And if you don't want to do a voice memo, then make a video. And it's not even that you want to listen to your own voice. It's that it allows that space for dialogue to open. It allows for you to get your thoughts out into the open. It allows for inspiration. It allows for you to be a vessel for the divine and the universe to connect with. Give yourself that opportunity. Give yourself the opportunity to push away that self-doubt. Give yourself the opportunity to have something firm that you can check yourself with. 1414, as I say that. And this is my second time recording this video because the first time I was connected to Bluetooth. Whoops. And just keep fucking going. Like, you're a baddie, male or female, non-binary, doesn't matter who the fuck you are, you're a fucking baddie, because I literally only attract baddies. I only attract people into my field that I am meant to be there for. This is my purpose. So If you want, you can leave some of your qualities in the comments below, or you can write them down, keep them to yourself. There's no wrong answer here. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, and I'm so fucking proud of you. I'm so fucking proud of you. And I'm so grateful that you're here, and I love you so much, and I hope you have a good night.